Recording in progress. Why does that always freak me out? Hi, welcome to the Librarian Presents Fix for the Fans. And so hopefully you'll have listened to the reading I just did of, I've just had a total mental blank. What was the name of that fic?
Halloween
Miracle.
Worst title ever because I got left to my own devices, okay?
Oh, excuse me. It was a very good title.
It is a really good title. It's a really good fic. So the whole idea of doing this part of a podcast, I get to talk to the author who wrote it, the person it was written for. So I'm on with the author, oh I swear, and the giftee. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the right way around here. Alaskan outsider. This was a gift exchange. Is that right?
It was, Halloween gift. I think it was the
Stucky Halloween gift exchange.
Yeah.
I remember because I got use for that one.
Like, at least you remember. I don't, because I'm useless.
How did I write her?
I sign up for things, I write things, and then I'm like, oh god.
Oh dear. Now I actually have to do it. Okay, so gift exchange, how exactly does that work? It's just a group of you will go, well, we'll write each other a story.
I think this one was actually arranged by The Damage of Her Days, I think. Am I right?
The
anyway,
modding community is so big, I can't even tell you who does what anymore.
It's a Tumblr event, and you sign up and you essentially write a fic for somebody based on their preferences, and they give sort of a very broad thing in like an application form, and obviously you submit your own and it gets sent to someone else, and it's all sort of randomized.
Yeah. So like they pull names from a hat and everybody gets assigned one, but you don't get assigned like the same person who's writing one for you. You get assigned somebody else. So it's like one person writes you a fic, you write somebody else a fic. It's like a chain, kind of.
Yeah, it's not even
everybody's writing everyone else.
It can be art and stuff as well.
Yeah. Essentially, it's a bit like how Secret Santa works at an office or whatever else.
Yeah,
everyone's
exactly.
But with part of it goes in the hat.
With fan work, like art or fic or whatever fan work you can think of, really.
That's cool. Okay, so the request came in from you, Alaskan, about what you wanted from it. Is that right? Like, I'm still learning all this stuff.
So I signed up for it, and I filled out the sign-up sheet, because the sign-up sheet is also your preference sheet, and it says what are your wants and what are your do not wants. So like, I'm pretty sure I put kid fic, and I put fluffy Halloween stuff. I put nothing scary. I can't
you did horror. Put nothing scary, and you put ABO as well as a
and I was like scary, and I put ABO,
and I was literally like, well, I think I can hit all of these things all at once. So a cute
I'm only I swear
a cute, fluffy, spooky but not scary story, preferably with Shrunky Plunks or ABO with a mega bucky. That
I'm pretty sure that's exactly the description I
put. Yeah, it was actually.
I found it. Copy and pasted my description.
Oh, is it in the author's note?
It's in the author's notes. And oh my god,
exactly what I've done here, guys.
Dude, that is like scary. Totally wheelhouse. Like that is so totally your wheelhouse.
Oh god, yeah. Like I genuinely got this list as prompt, and I was like, yes. We're gonna be okay here.
And this was before T and I actually started talking and becoming friends too. So like she didn't know me either. Like we barely talked. We talked in the server, but like this was when I was lurking in the private server that we're a part of. So we hadn't talked at all.
It's true. And then Mia mentioned, so because I don't think that was on the I genuinely don't think that was on the whole the kid fic. I don't know if that was mentioned, and I was like, I can get away with this, it'll be fine. Like,
it is
because you said something like,
oh yeah, no, I think what happened was like I was talking with somebody else about kid fic, and they were like, oh, you like kid fic? And I was like, yeah, I like kid fic, and I had no idea that she was my
I was literally like, I'm going over here and squirreling this one away.
But But that's the thing. I did the same thing to the person I was gifting to. I went into a server that was a public server with both of us, and I asked broad questions like, how do you feel about identity porn? Everyone. But in reality, I wanted one person to reply.
Actually, you know what? We do something similar in the FSBC chat. Like when we're trying to get information out of one person, we go in there because we have, little categories that are like all about us and, true facts and stuff. And it's like, if you had to choose between this version of Steve and this version of Steve, which one would you go for? And everybody replies, but you're after one particular
that one person
reason.
And it was so funny because when I did my gift fic, I did that, and I did that multiple times. Like I filled this server with questions, and then by the end of it, when I posted it, the person sent me a message. She was like, "I had no idea," and I was like, "That was the goal." And then I got her for a second gift exchange for a different fandom that we're both a part of. And I did the same thing again, and I sent it to her again, and she was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Woohoo! I did it!" I love gift exchanges because it's like super secret agent work, right?
It's so awesome. It is so awesome, and the longer I spend in amongst this fandom, and the more I do these podcasts and stuff like that, the more little things I'm learning. Like I've always seen on AO3. Where it comes up, this fic is written by such and such for such and such. So I'm like, how did these people friends in real life? Like, how did this come about? And then it's like,
sometimes it is like, Becca Scene wrote a really awesome album fic for me to cheer me up at one point because I was having a bad time of things, and I reread it recently and I still love it. I read it probably about once a month, if I'm completely honest with you. Yeah. But there's stuff like that. So sometimes we just write things for our friends that we think they're going to like. Sometimes we do birthday present fics. Gift exchanges are a big thing. And actually, the other one is like MTH, which is Marvel Trumps Hate. I'm just about to start posting my next one. Hey, plug. Okay. And apart from that, there's Fandom Trumps Hate as well, which is where people bid on auctions. So we'll offer like X amount of fic for X amount of money made. Last year, actually, that's where the Majesty series from me came from. That was that was actually a MTH win. This year I'm going to end up doing something really a lot longer than I have to, but we've come up with the idea and I like it. So
I've never done MTH before, so I do want to ask, what exactly is that? Like, I always see everybody talk about it and like bids and stuff, and I'm so like,
it's basically,
what is this?
It's an auction that's set up, and everyone like auctions off lots. So like artists will auction X amount of fan works. Like I know Co did some last year, for instance, where she was offering to insert somebody in with the people that they're in the fandom with, and then she'd add certain things if certain price points were hit, such as like backgrounds, more detail and whatever. I offered a fic of X amount of words with it going up by X amount, depending on what price range we hit. I've got to be honest, I was shocked by how much money I actually made. And then sometimes you do a pod bid, so a group of people will bid for one person. So I actually organised a pod bid this year because we wanted Bex to write more from Alpen's point of view, because she is basically a cat. Sorry, Bex.
And also,
sorry, like that's an insult.
Someone else I desperately want on the podcast, on the main podcast, not the side one.
She's thinking about it. She's thinking about it.
Look,
every single time I bring it up, she's like, they don't want to talk to me. They don't want to talk to me. And I'm like, Bex, like 5 of us are telling you that they want to talk to you.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I have a
privacy,
dedicated page. Like, and we're not using the video from this, but I will show the 2 people who I do have on screen. Like, I have a dedicated notebook.
I've seen your list.
That's the list that you posted on Tumblr.
The list has actually grown since it was posted on Tumblr. Right?
We even shared the picture of the list with her, and she was still like, "I'm not on that." It was like, yes.
Your name's there.
She's like,
we're in denial. Exactly. I was like, you were in denial. You see your name. You're just pretending it doesn't exist.
Like, except for the top 4. So the top 4 were the ones at that point I'd already done, which was Maddie Wright Stuckey, Oh I Swear, Alaskan Outsider, and Henny Trash, right? So those 4 were on the top of the list because they'd already been done, right? Then I actually wrote it down, and Bex is third after that. Like, and it's not because she's the third, you know, that's not, there's no order for these. They're just, oh, this person, oh, this person. Like, I have authors on here who haven't even been active in fandom since like 2016. And I would die if any of them actually come back to me and went, yeah, I'll do an interview about stuff that I wrote 5-6 years ago.
Animal Crossing villagers.
But you know, I have pages and pages and pages of questions for people that, you know. So yes, it's you may not think that what you do is any good or anyone want to talk to you, but yes, I do.
That's just the thing. I find that the best authors I've met that are popular are the ones who think that they are not popular. You know, like I've talked to a few popular authors who are like, yeah, I'm the shit in like fandom, and I'm like, I don't like you. And then there's like people like Oh I Swear and Bex and like Co and them, and they're like, I am nothing. It's like, but you are, like, you guys are something. And they're all like, no, we're not.
So I haven't so I have a top 5, and I've spoken about my top 5 authors before, and I've kind of spoken to most of them now, whether it be over a, you know, a Zoom meeting or just in text form or whatever. But there's still people out there who, they're not in my top 5 authors, but that doesn't mean that they're not in my favorites, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
No, I get it.
Right? And there are some people who I'm like, I would die. Sorry. Just, background information happening right now that I can't help laughing at. Nobody's going to see. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Where was I? I got completely sidetracked then. Thanks, T. Completely. Oh dear. Okay. I'm gonna speak
It's
about
not me
YouTube.
derailing things, it's my cat. Let's be honest.
Good thing this isn't YouTube, or we'd get demonetized.
No, like there's no video footage going up, all right. So don't stress. Even though I'm sure some people would love it, but I actually can't believe it's just on a slightly side topic. So now I've started posting the author interviews on YouTube under their own channel. The reaction I'm getting from them, like, there's not even, it's just the FSBC library logo and author interviews or whatever is the background, and everyone's watching it on YouTube.
Yeah. I listened to them on your podfic or your podcast,
the Podbean,
Podbean. Usually when I'm supposed to be doing something at work, if I'm completely honest with you, but you know, it's nice to listen to other people, and I do think that often we sort of like hide in our little dark rooms writing our dirty, smutty fic, and it's like some sort of big taboo and whatever.
At my discontinued Silver Fox Steve fic. No,
if I'm not allowed to talk to anybody about the Silver Fox bang, you are not allowed to bring it up after this at all, because
Jill, I have some really sad news from myself. I actually dropped from Silver Fox Steve. I'm the mod still, but I dropped from writing fic right before claims because, like I said in our podcast interview, I changed my idea, and then I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna write, you know, the minimum. T knows how that went. And actually, T read what I wrote, and she was like, "This needs more." And it wasn't because it wasn't complete. It was just because the topic. And then she made me like change a lot of, not really change anything, but like it grew legs and ran away. And it's T's fault.
You don't need to show me things like this. You know who I am as a person. I'm basically incapable of writing something that's below like 40k. So,
but no, I have proof that you have written things that are below 40k, because I read one of them out loud very recently.
And you did a very good job. Oh God, I sound like the Johnny Depp trial, don't I? Did you read this right? Yes, you did.
Did you know? Objection. I object to my own question.
I object to my own fic.
No.
What about
honestly,
the muffins? What about the
I have-
muffins, guys?
Do you know the Muffin Man?
You know the muffin man.
No, but my dog stepped on a bee. Anyway, we're getting completely off topic.
Jesus.
Oh, dude, that's a topic for a whole other podcast. But no, look, I honestly, before I did the whole reading this fic out loud thing, which I'm still terrified of the reception that one's going to get from everybody who is not present company. Excuse my Australian accent, trying to, not have an accent, trying to read it, so it's understandable. Don't think I was entirely successful. But I'd read it before and I loved it. It was just, it's cute, it's fluffy, it's just, yes. And brother-sister interaction when one gets to say, I told you so. Like, I have a brother. I know what that's like. It's amazing.
Do you know what's ironic? I do not have a brother or a sister. I'm an only child. So everything that you see in my brother-sister interactions in fic is purely based on things I've seen from my friends.
I have an older sister and a younger brother, and oh geez. Siblings are fun, and it really depends on the family on how close they are. And you do so well on your siblings because your siblings are always so close. And especially when, like, this fic that you wrote for me, I loved it because of how close the siblings were, because my siblings and I are not close. Like, I haven't talked to my brother in like 3 months.
You've got, like,
not on
levels,
purpose,
haven't you? You've got Becca and Bucky, who are obviously really close, and then you've got Caitlin and Miles, who are obviously really close and finishing each other's sentences and ganging up on Uncle Bucky together, mostly.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I love that because, like, so I love reading fics where siblings are close to each other because, my siblings and I were really close when we were little. Like, it was us and our mom against the world. Like, it was, we had each other's backs. Sure, my brother once took a robotic remote control spider and put it on top of my head while I was asleep, like on my hair, and turned it on. And my hair got wrapped in the gears. And my mom had to take a razor to my head and shave my head bald because she couldn't untangle the spider. My sister dyed my hair green when I was in kindergarten as a prank, and I got suspended from school for having dyed hair. This was in a very conservative Alaskan town.
Oh my God.
And me and my sister, we painted my brother's face, but oh God. I say this, I want to remind you, I was like 6 and she was 8 at the time. Oh, we painted our brother's face, but instead of using like acrylic or, like face paint, we got into the wall paint for the house.
Oh no.
And that's how we painted my brother's face. See, like, we terrorized each other, like, legit, like, we were awful to each other, but at the end of the day it was still us and our mom against the world, But after my mom passed away, my sister and I, like, we grew further apart. We started fighting. My brother, moved in with his dad and we got separated, and now it's like my brother and I, we hardly talk. Not because we don't want to, it's because we don't really have much to say to each other because we don't really know each other anymore. Like, let's see, so he left, we got separated when he was 7 and we got him back when he was 16. So, like, all of his developmental years were gone.
Yeah.
And I didn't know him. Like, I didn't know him. And I was going to college when he was 16. I was 18. I was moving into the dorms. So, like, I love your fics and how close the siblings are because it reminds me of how close my siblings and I were, even when we were terrorizing each other. if you so much as looked at one of us wrong, the other two were beating the shit out of you. We were like, don't you glare at my little brother. Only I get to shove him up against a brick wall. Like, that's not how that works.
Look, the second paragraph of this fic, you know, it's the whole, you know, it's not that he doesn't adore his niece and nephew, because of course he does. Hell, it's a family joke that Bucky was every bit of excited to become an uncle as Scott had been to become a dad. Like my brother has children. My brother has 2 little girls. When my eldest niece was born, I waited for the text message. I was living 6 hours away. I waited for the message to come through that, you know, Bub was born. And then I waited for the message to come through that, yeah, you can come down. I drove 6 hours, spent 3 hours sitting in the hospital with them. I was the first person outside, you know, medical staff to meet my niece.
Yeah.
I have the first selfie with her. At like 12 hours old, I have a selfie of me and my niece. So I was there for 3 hours. I then turned around and drove home because I had to work the next day. This was on a Sunday. And I was exhausted by the time I got home, and like was a zombie the next day. But that whole feeling is like, oh my God, this is my niece. Like, wow, like this is an entirely another person. That whole part of, you know, this is the second paragraph of the fic, and I'm like, yeah, okay, this has got me. This is exactly how I felt. I would do anything for my nieces.
Before
I don't have any siblings, but I do have a lot of friends who are like, I'm at the right age where my friends are now, you know, reproducing. They are sprogging. There are many sprogs in the local vicinity here who refer to me as Auntie T. And it, you know, it's happened. So yeah, literally, I am that person that goes over there and, you know, I will hold the child while you go and shower and stuff. It's, you know.
I mean, before me and my sister had our big falling out, my nieces, I was there when both of them were born. My niece Raylin, July Freedom, that's her middle name, July Freedom, because she was born on the 4th of July. Somebody gave my sister that note card way too early. But my niece, she was born and I held her, and for the next week and a half, I spent pretty much every day at my sister's house taking care of that baby while my sister was showering and, you know, healing from freaking giving birth.
Right.
And so I was like there constantly. I was up for midnight feedings and everything. So it was almost like an extension of like having my own kid there. And I was like 16 at the time. And then when Sophie was born, my college dorms were across the street from the hospital. So I got the phone call that she was born. I was there when my sister was still in labor. Like I ran across that street and I held her. I was the first person outside of her mom and dad to hold her. And I broke down crying. Part of it was because I knew that, like, you know, she wasn't going to meet her grandmother. And so like I had to hold her for her, and I had to be like, Mom, I'm here in your stead, you know. And that's just the thing, is like I love kid fic so much because of the like love that goes into it, and like the show of like family.
It's the pure emotion and that like link, isn't it?
Yeah,
like for me, that's what it is.
Like no matter what your kid does, you always love them.
Yeah.
Like, and it's especially like with found family, it's the same way. It's like, even if it's your adopted kid, no matter what your kid does, like you love them, you know. You can't be mad at your kid, and I'm quoting the Flash right now. you can't be mad at your kid for who they are today. You have to help them shape to become who they are tomorrow. That's Joe West from the Flash. But like that's the thing about parenting, and I am not a parent, but if I was, like, that's the thing, is like no matter what your kid does, you always love them because you know everybody makes mistakes. And I love that parent-kid relationship that goes into kid fic.
Look, honestly,
it's unconditional love.
It's only the fact, T, that you've told me that you're an only child. How you write siblings in these fics it's incredible. Like, my brother and I weren't close when we were kids, but the last, 5 or 6 years, we've sort of gotten to that point now. But Yeah, I love the interactions you have. Like, and even when it's a different, sort of dynamic between them in different fics and whatnot, you've still got that at the core that you can feel the emotion behind it. And I love it.
I do think, like, despite being an only child, I do have that found family thing though. And that's why that always hits deep with me. I've got some very, very good friends. I'm very, very lucky. And that's both people that I like, for instance, my beta reader, hi Lottie, because she'll listen to this. We lived together for several years at university, but I've got some friends down here, like, and even, my gay best friend Dan, who again, he'll probably listen. So hi Dan, don't tell us, that'd be weird. We do squabble like siblings, and that's sort of where my reference point comes from, if you will.
Yeah, and that's also the lovely thing about found family is like, I know I keep quoting shows that are not Marvel, but like, family doesn't just end in blood, Supernatural. Because like the friends that I talked about earlier, right? They were my found family, right? Like I said, me and my siblings don't get along. But my best friend and I, we've had fights. We've gone 6-7 months where we were trying to destroy each other's lives in high school because high schoolers suck, okay? No offense to any high schoolers who might be listening, but like, when you're 22, you'll realize why I said that. Because you'll realize it. But like, we used to go at each other's throats. Like, there were multiple times when we got pulled into the disciplinary principal's office because he made us sit down and talk for 3 hours until we got over our 3-month petty fight that was destroying our social lives. But at the end of the day, like, it's that found family. Like, she is my sister. She is the one that, when I had my biggest breakdowns about my mom, she was there. And when, the thing happened to me in college, they were there. Like, my found family. And that's why I just love like kid fic and found family, and why I love T's writing so much. Because even when
I can't say that.
even when like things are going wrong, they always find a way to fix it, because at the end of the day, they are family and they will fix it. And coming from a family that is so dysfunctional that half of us haven't spoken to each other in months and the other half of us are yelling at each other, and then like there's like maybe 2 or 3 of us who are actually good with each other right now. Reading T's fics for everybody is like, even when they're going through the hard parts, they're still together and they still understand that like they're there for each other. Coming from a family where that's not a thing, it makes me feel so happy, because I'm like, this is what family's supposed to be. And then also it's helped me grow, because it helps me let go of my own guts. Like when I get phone calls from my sister where all I want to do is scream, I pull up Halloween Miracle, or I pull up Brooklyn Bakes, or I pull up one of T's fics that have a found family, like Futures Lost, or like one of the ones where it's like found family where something happens and they still fight their way through it. And I read that because I'm like, I have to remind myself that yes, things are bad now, but they will get better, because if they can get better for Steve and Bucky, they can get better for me.
I'm like that.
Too much credibility here.
Well, no. You look. I know. I say this to you all the time, but seriously, there is a reason you're in my top 5. Like, I've said that from the start. Before I was even game enough to start a conversation with you, I said that from the start. Right, and now you wrote Joey for me for lullabies, like.
I did, even though we nearly lost that until Jessie saved the day.
I can't believe it. I'm like, okay, radio. I thought you liked my idea for Joey, and then he's not in there, and then suddenly, oh my god, it's meant to be in there. But anyway, this is gone off completely.
Yeah. That was a technical error thanks to GDocs, solved by one Jessie, who is really angry that he has anything to do with my fanfic life right now.
That's funny.
It's that whole dynamic behind it, and the fact that in so many of your kid fics, it's the kids have a shining moment as well. Like,
Yeah.
for Halloween, like, it's the kids who get them together. Do you think
Oh, it
my uncle's pretty?
absolutely is.
Like, that's the look my uncle has when he thinks someone's pretty. Like,
They've got that kid thing. I mean, like, obviously, Miles and Caitlin are quite young. So they've got that thing where there is literally no embarrassment there. You know, they're just like,
the filters
well,
haven't been installed yet.
yeah, exactly. It's, you know, Uncle Bucky, you need to give him your number as if he doesn't know that. Like, you know.
And granted,
Like,
in that point, Bucky probably didn't know that because he was still just like, huh?
What's going on? Yeah.
So much.
Like, I feel like I've missed something here. Something's happened. We've skipped a chapter. Where am I supposed to be right now? And the kids are like, we got this. We got your back. Like, we can handle this.
After this entire conversation, my brain finally rebooted, and I remembered what I wrote for the person I was supposed to gift for. Like, it took me this entire conversation for me to remember the name of that thing, which is funny because I don't have that many fics, guys. Like, I don't have that many fics, and I definitely don't have that many short fics. And yet, it still took me forever. So
now the fact that, you know, my first one of these, so my first foray into podfic, and then the, you know, this sort of part of the podcast after it, where I get to talk to the author and the giftee. How the hell do I match this for my next one? Honestly, like, the stars have aligned for this. I can't expect them to align twice.
You would have to. I mean, I think I gave you Yusa's contact info, right?
I think so.
She's the one I wrote my gift fic for the same Halloween exchange.
I might have to look into this one. Although, if there is anybody who's still crazy enough to still be listening, and they have an idea for a fic that they want me to turn into a pod fic, yes, I'm capping it at 6,000 words. I'm not doing anything over 6,000 words because my voice wouldn't be able to keep up with it, to be honest. And I don't think I have that sort of attention span. Not for reading out loud. But let me know. Let somebody know that, you know, obviously if there's already a pod fic of something, I don't want to do another one. Yeah. But hell, 6,000 words or less. If you want me to read it out, send it to me. I will do my best. I'm not making any commitments to doing any explicitly rated ones right now because I'll probably like die halfway through it. But you know what? It depends on what it is too. I'll give it a go.
Hold on. I'm trying to think. Hold on. I'm trying to think.
So while Alaskan's being quiet, T, anything else you want to talk about? Now we can get a word in.
I did. I've not talked this entire time.
Love you, darling.
I'm not really good on talking on the recordings. I think we've all realized that I sort of sound awkward and British, and that's kind of accurate.
Look, I'm an Aussie. I sound like this no matter what I'm doing. So,
and I'm American. And I'm sad about that.
Look,
especially currently.
I can do a great Texan accent. Okay, it's just because of my own laws, but you know,
I went quiet only because I wanted to look through my fics and see if you'll end up ever doing a pod fic for me. None of my short fics are less than 6K. I think I might be able to be convinced.
I might be able to be convinced.
I've got several, but yeah, it's really weird because I actually really struggle with short fics. I always end up feeling like they're unfinished, like I could do more, and I could do more, but I should not do more.
No. You should, in my opinion, you should always do more. But, you know, only if there is more of the story to tell. Like, okay, I'm greedy. I will take anything that you give me. As most of our, you know, chat messages have probably proven by now. But But it's
Look, I have something new that you have not seen releasing on Tuesday.
I'm like super excited for that, by the way.
I named it yesterday, as you know. And yeah, it's my Marvel Trump's hate piece, and I'm very, very excited. I've only written 3 chapters, so I need to get my butt in gear tomorrow, but you know.
Hey, it's
It'll
all
be fun.
good.
A lot of work. I haven't written anything in so long.
Get your
You
bum in
also
gear.
have a hell of a lot of modding duties and all sorts of things for all your bangs. And
Well, now that everybody's paired up, there's not a lot that I gotta do. Like, unless somebody complains about their pairing, I'm pretty much just coasting until posting. That's a rhyme. But that's the thing about mods is like after claims, it's kind of like unless somebody complains about,
here you
about
go.
their pairing or their partner, it's pretty much just like I'm chilling.
Before we run out of time, here's a challenge for you. Write me something under 6,000 words so I can turn it into a podfic.
Go on, Mia. You can do this.
All good. We're about to go. So thank you for listening. Thank you guys so much
See
for
you
joining me.
soon.
And
Bye.
Bye.
mwah. Thank you, everyone.